0. What's up, guys, and welcome to this channel's first ever gaming update video, where I'm going to be delivering you your latest game updates. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, where am I getting all my information? We are getting it from the website Gamer Rant, and today we're going to be covering the two articles: Elden Ring Nightreign fixing major game-breaking issue. Alright, starting with the Elden Ring, let's get straight into it. Okay, so the developer from Software has the developer's name is From Software. Okay, developer From Software has recently announced that it will correct a major game-breaking bug in Elden Ring Nightreign. The glitch, which could prevent gamers from finishing a major boss in Elden Ring Nightreign, is set to be solved within a hot fix on July 4th. Okay, so basically what we're getting from that is, for any Elden Ring gamers who's struggling with a certain boss, was it named? I do not play Elden Ring. I'm covering the updates still. I got you. So you will understand this more than I will. But anyways, let's see. The name of the boss? Is Nightreign the boss? Elden Ring Nightreign fixing major game breaking issue. So either Nightreign is the game thing, or Nightreign is the boss. So if Nightreign is the boss, and you know that is the boss, and you play Elden Ring, then just know that it is getting a fix so that it's more beatable, so that you can beat it on July 4th. So that's it. Is that today? No, it's tomorrow. So tomorrow on Friday. Tomorrow, Friday, you're gonna be getting that update. And if you see this video late, well, update already happened. So keep watching so you know what happened. Okay, so released earlier this year, Elden Ring Nightreign was a major hit. Okay, so that's actually the name of the game. The game sold over 2 million copies on its first day, and From Software has indicated that it passed 3.5 million units in less than a week. Sheesh. Nightreign generally achieved positive critical acclaim too, which makes sense because Elden Ring is a great game. I don't play it, but I've seen the clips. Whew, for a Dark Souls game, amazing. Okay, and as the popular multiplayer title currently stands with an average critic score of 81 on OpenCritic. Very nice, very nice. Okay, and there's also best relevant weapons passive and relics in Elden Ring Nightreign. Maybe we'll read that as a bonus article, who knows? But anyways, From Software has announced that one game-breaking bug that prevented some people from finishing the Everdark Sovereign Sentient Pest fight will be fixed on July 4th. Now my question is, okay, so basically he's saying that, so there's a game-breaking bug that prevents basically not everyone, but some people from finishing the Everdark Sovereign Sentient Pest fight. So if it's only some people, my question is this a skill issue or an actual bug? And then if it is an actual bug, I am curious as to who, if it was you or not, actually beat it with that. If you did, you should give yourself a round of applause and a pat on the back, because you just beat a game with a bug. That's crazy. Unless you use bugs too. Sometimes you have to use bugs to beat a bug, but I doubt the devs would allow the players to use a bug. They might allow the creatures to use a bug, but they probably kept close for any other players using a bug, so to ensure maximum fair play, if you know what I'm saying. So anyways, they're gonna be fixing that, and that's crazy that some people actually beat it. But anyways, unless it's just a skill issue. So it's good that From Software is working to fix this problem as soon as possible, as it can greatly affect the experience, which is true. If it's really a bug and it's causing people to rage quit, even though they probably will even without the bug, yeah, I'd probably get it fixed. That way we can bring out a positive experience that people have less to rage about, you know, as they traverse the game. But even so, I feel like not everyone, but most people are gonna be past that. They're having fun. It's like the challenge. You're getting closer and closer. I feel like there's actually less people now that are more ragey, and more people who grind that game for a living. Like, they're playing it because they're made for that game. And so they like each time they die, they're getting closer and closer, better and better. Unless there are people who are just more ragers, and I'm just away from the time, so not my experience. Anyways, Everdark Sovereigns are essentially harder versions of the game's regular Night Lords. Oh, okay. So that's the boss, or monsters, and are expected to be the climax of some matches. Okay, so it'll be greatly disappointing to be prevented from defeating one and collecting its sovereign sigils. So it'd be greatly disappointing to be okay, yeah, I see, I get that. Oh yeah, that, and then as a picture from, I believe this is X, previously Twitter, Elden Ring Nightreigns downtime on July 4th. So Elden Ring themselves, at Elden Ring, said, Nightfarers, we have identified a bug in hashtag Elden Ring, hashtag Nightreign, that may occur during the Everdark Sovereign Sentient Pest fight, making expeditions impossible to complete. To address this issue, a partial temporary hotfix will be released tomorrow, July 4th. And then they followed, and they replied that, followed it up with, a server maintenance will be held at 1 Pacific time, 10 o'clock CEST, I don't know what that means right now, 17 JST, wait, what does CST and JST mean? Okay, we're gonna do a little lesson here. If you don't know either CST and JST meaning, so I can educate myself. So that is Central European time, and Japan, I knew JST was Japan Standard Time. I knew it was Japan. Like, as soon as I saw the J, I was like, that's gotta be Japan. But, you know, just confirming. Okay, and then that's Central European Time. So those are the times for you guys, and the P is Pacific Standard Time. I'm pretty sure, 100% sure. So, where was that? Yeah, let's go back to it. We sincerely apologize for any inconveniences this may cause. Thank you for your understanding and patience. Okay, so they're getting on it very quickly. Let's read the next part. This will be the second time Elden Ring Nightreign will enter maintenance this week. Back on July 2nd, the title was also under maintenance for around an hour due to patch 1.01.4, which made undisclosed fixes to the game, which is actually probably good. If you don't, it's better you don't know, because it means that most players probably didn't run into it. Hopefully. But, yeah. These patches come on the heels of a major Elden Ring Nightreign update, which brought the Everdark Sovereign version of the Darkdrift Night Fulgore to the game on June 26th. The update gave gamers even more variety of challenging bosses to face, improving the overall experience of the multiplayer title. So that kind of like reminds me sort of like the DLC. The addition of more Everdark Sovereigns to Elden Ring Nightreign has been a fairly popular move, soon after the addition of the Everdark Sovereign boss, Gaping Jaw. Elden Ring Nightreign had a major spike in its player count, which makes sense, which increased by almost 70% suddenly, reaching a 24-hour peak of 162,631 players on Steam, which is actually crazy. Because now that I think about it, like, Roblox has become so big and worldwide that like some of its games are bigger than Elden Ring. Like, you know, so my main channel, Vishido, check that out. Yes, this is self-plug. This is self-plug, even though this video isn't gonna get too many views. I mean, I just made it today. This is the first video of the channel. But anyways, there's like Grow a Garden, 2.6 million players continuously. They even had 18 million at one point all at the same time. No, even twice. No, I think it was actually thrice or quadruple rice. Quadruple rice. No, egg rolls. Anyways, that all that made players all consecutively. And then there's these games like the Brain Rot game, Still Brain Rot. Somehow 600,000 players all at once, which is crazy. Which makes me wonder, because like Roblox must have like 50 million concurrent players if you think about it, which is insane. That's got to be like a record, right? Because it's not even monthly. Like, you have, like, Elden Ring probably has, like, 50 million monthly players, right? But Roblox itself has 50 million daily players. That's crazy. But anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about great Elden Ring. It doesn't matter how many players there are, because it's a great game no matter what. It's actually doing incredibly well with 162,000. Roblox is really... It's really different, because if Elden Ring were on Roblox, it would be with the most popular games, because Roblox is full of games, while Elden Ring is a game solo on itself, which is amazing. Because, like, to have that many people for a single game, like a single experience, is amazing. Unlike Roblox with multiple experience, it's like you can't really compare them, because one has multiple experiences, which isn't as limited, and one has like one experience. Now, Elden Ring isn't limited, but you know, Elden Ring is just Elden Ring. It's not Elden Ring and then Elder Scrolls and then Elder that all at the same time, you know? It's just Elden Ring. You can't play both at the same time, or switch. Like, let's say you go to the Elden Ring menu and then you go to the next game. No, that's not how Elden Ring is. Elden Ring is simply Elden Ring. So anyways, let's get back to this article. So Elden Ring is being fairly popular now. Yeah, 162,000 on Steam. And with these updates from software, continues to maintain Elden Ring Nightreign as a fresh experience, and hopefully with as few bugs as possible. Yep, devs. It remains to be seen, however, how the company will continue to add significant content to keep player space engaged during the rest of 2025 and onward, which is very true. I mean, after a while, you're adding all these new bosses, you're adding all these details and stuff like that, these fights, but after a while, if you're doing the same thing over and over, how are players going to stay engaged with that? I mean, are players really going to fight the same bosses for, like, not the same bosses, but, like, the same concept of incredibly hard bosses for years? I mean, honestly, I would. Honestly, I would. I mean, you keep giving me new bosses, I'm gonna keep coming back. Really. But, so let's say, so branching off from the first idea, for any players who think like me and would honestly just keep on fighting the different bosses, like, no matter what, as long as it's just a new boss, would the developers even create enough new ideas for that? I mean, because sooner or later, they may or may not come to a stump and run out of ideas. So I guess perhaps maybe they ask the fan base what kind of ideas they want, or maybe they put out a poll. Because I've seen, like, games like PUBG Mobile, they'll have, like, outfit contests, and whoever wins gets their outfit in the game. So maybe the devs for Elden Ring might make a contest. Whoever creates the most creative boss, the new boss, will get their boss added into the new game DLC, or maybe the top 10 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, going back to the first thought, for the players who don't think like me and do get bored after a while, how are they gonna keep them? Because, like, I'm gonna assume that there are people who are gonna eventually get bored of fighting bosses all the time. Maybe they want to do something different. Maybe they want more storyline. Like, how much storyline is in Elden Ring? I'm not too familiar with it. All I know is about the crazy bosses they have that are like, wow. The crazy hard bosses, that's what I'm familiar with. The adventure, the open world experience, that's what I'm familiar about. But I'm not too familiar about the storyline. Actually, no. Wait, now that I do think about it, they do have a storyline. They definitely have a storyline, but I'm not sure how much it goes deep into. Like, are you following the storyline the entire time, or do you, like, diverge or, like, do whatever you want? That's my question. So if you have the answer to that, leave it in a comment below, because that would help clarify it for me personally, more. But if you know, and you probably would have a better idea about this than me. So anyways, that's gonna end our Elden Ring quick update. I stretched the 1-minute article to like 20 minutes. And if you watched this far, then clearly you enjoyed it. So you know, I'm gonna keep on doing that.